Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine and welcome to day 24 of 31 days of Christmas crafting. I have made a prototype, not very well I have to say, for what we're going to make today, and I'm going to make some adjustments to it and do it better as well. And I've used some card that I'm not bothered about, but it is essentially an exploding box with a little thing in. And you can put nail varnish in it. Now, my circle is too big for this nail varnish. Yes, so we are going to have a little play anyway, and hopefully find something that this will fit in. Yes, it's all about having the right dies. If you've got Stampin' Up punches, the 1 inch hole punch and 1 1/4 inch hole punch, those will serve you well. But yes, I've just had a go to see if I can make this, and it is easy peasy lemon squeezy, and I'm going to show you, she says, how to make it. We're going to work on the exploding box base first, and for this you will need a piece of card that is 8 1/4 inches square, and I'm using this purple colour because why not? It's festive but also quite girly. And on, well, it doesn't matter because it's a square, you need to score at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Rotate 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. You're then going to turn your card over and you are going to score these diagonal bits. So I'm placing in my paper trimmer, and yeah, each outside corner you're just going to score through that diagonal on all 4 corners. As best as you can. So this would make a nice stocking stuffer if you've got teenage daughters, girlfriends. Look, I've scored too much there. It doesn't really matter because I'm going to cover most of that bit up anyway. It could be a craft fair make if you can source yourself some decent nail varnish at a reasonable price. You could, what's the word I'm looking for? Do this as Secret Santa, whatever. Anyway, I am going to now fold and burnish these score lines. Like so. Okay, and then we want to bring in our corner and bring our bone folder in and burnish that diagonal score line. I'm going to do that on all 4 corners as well. And fold it as you go, it just makes it a little bit easier. Placing down, trying to get your edges square. And the last one. So yeah, Secret Santas, random acts of kindness. They could be table settings, although table favours, although they're a little bit big, I think. And there we have got the basis of our box. Now, you will need 4 pieces of white card because I'm going to maybe put a sentiment on these. I haven't decided yet, but just for a little pop of something else, I've got 4 pieces of white card that are 2 1/2 inches square. You need to decorate these 4 panels here, and I'm using this paper out of my £3 pad from the works, and again 2.5 inches square. I'm going to cut 8 of those, so I will adhere all of that down. So it's a couple of days later now, and I've kind of forgotten what we were doing, so please bear with me. As you can see, I've gone ahead and I've adhered my patterned paper squares to the outside of the box. This is going to be the base. I might put another patterned piece there, I don't know yet. And then on the inside, I've cut the other 4 squares on the diagonal for these corner pieces here. And I've gone ahead and I've done some stamping on my white pieces. So this one here, I've got To My Awesome Friend, and these little doodads on here, and then I've got some stars that say wonderful, and I thought we would just do the last one together. So this little star element is from Hazel's stamp set, All About the Boys, and I'm going to use this little star cluster. Obviously you use what you've got, but the colours I'm using are wilted violet, mustard seed and mowed lawn. I don't have distress oxides for all of these. I find the oxides do stamp a little bit better than the distress ink, but we're going to do our stars randomly in mustard seed. You can see there's still some ink on there, just inking up and randomly stamping. And we'll have one more there. Might have done a little bit too much on that. Yes, I've only done 3 on the other 2, but never mind. This is going on the opposite corner. Just put that over there. And then from the circle sentiments set, it's upside down in the packet, I've been using this corner piece and this little 3 dots. The 3 dots I absolutely love. I had something similar from Inky Doodles many years ago, and because it's so small it got lost, so I need to do my best to keep this safe. And we're just going to randomly stamp with the mowed lawn and the wilted violet. So coming in with the wilted violet first, I just want 3 of those. Just stamp off on my scrap. And then coming in with the mowed lawn, not brilliant stamping, but you get the idea. And you can build up so many lovely patterns with these. Don't need my inks anymore, so I'm just going to move those out of the way, put this back on its carrier sheet so I don't lose it, because I would be bereft if I lost that. Look, I'm losing it already. Get on there and stay safe. Thank you. Okay, moving those out of the way because we don't need those any longer. And I'm just going to glue this so it is the right way up, and then we can put this bit to one side and work on the base section, the little bit that your gift is going to sit in. And as I said, you need circle punches or circle dies for this. And if you've got the Stampin' Up! 1 inch circle punch and 1 1/4 inch circle punch, that will stand you in good stead. And again, I must apologise for my grubby fingers. I have been busy crafting and trying to get ahead for next week's videos because I've got a busy week, and I've had a bit of a disaster with these mica stains. They do stain. You will see a project with those next week. Yes, but they do stain. Look, I've just smudged that ink. But we're going to put that to one side and we're going to work on our little box for the centre. Bringing in my scoreboard, and I'm just going to move my tea out of the way so that I can open up my scoreboard, because I think I need it at its full extent. So for the little section that goes inside the box, you need a piece that is hold on a minute. Told you I'd forgotten what we were doing. You need a piece that is 4 by 7 1/4 inches, and on the long side we're going to score at, if I can manage it, 3/4. So just lifting that up so I can see. 3/4 of an inch, 3 1/4. Just moving that so it's right on the line. 4 and 6 1/2. I'm just going to stand up because my half is on the gap in this trimmer, and I want to make sure that I've got the actual half bit. There's 6 1/4. Seven. Yes, I think that is the half-inch mark there. I just want to make sure that is right. Okay, that is that. And then on the short side, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. Flip it, and 3/4 of an inch. There we go. Don't need this at the moment, so I'll just put that out of the way. And we are going to do some cutting and some folding and burnishing. So, doing these long ones first. Looks like quite a bright morning so far. I don't know what the day has in store. Weather-wise, whether it's going to stay like this. But it is a nice bright morning so far. Okay, that's all of those done, and we're going to cut up our short score lines on each long side up till the horizontal, just cutting up I don't know where this purple card has come from. It hasn't scored brilliantly. You can see there's some cracking there, but if you haven't got purple card and you are going to layer with patterned paper, you could always ink the edges of your paper with a coordinating ink. So wilted violet would look good on this. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark the middle of one of these squares with a little dot. I'm just eyeballing it. That's about right. And I'm going to die cut a circle here. So I'll be back when I've done that. So I've gone ahead and done that, and I've kind of teased my nail varnish bottle. It just fits, look, it is a very snug fit. So I'm deciding, as I've forced this a little bit and it's creased, which I want the right way up. And I think I want that the right way up. And I've used these layering circles from Heffy Doodle, and they are doesn't say what they are, but they kind of leave a little layer, a little frame as well. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we'll just pop those out of the way. And so at the same time as cutting that, I cut a square of my patterned paper to 2 3/8 of an inch square, and I've used the next size up, and I'm going to stick this down. And you can see it leaves a really big border, which is not what I want. And you can see it's not exactly central, but it doesn't really matter. Let's stick this down first. I was thinking what else you could put in here actually, and instead of nail varnish, and I suppose you could put, if you know, if it's the right dimensions, a lipstick. But I've also got this essential oil from Marks and Spencer's. That'd make a nice gift, wouldn't it? And this is what I mean about cutting out a frame. So if I layer that, you can see it gives us a better border, but I'm just going to put some glue on the reverse and then line it up before I stick it down. Okay, so let's have a look. I think that that is that bit there, and that is that bit there. So just lining it up, and it just gives me a little bit of a better border, and because it's slimmer, that gap doesn't look quite so bad anymore. But if you've got the right dimension dies and hole punches, you won't need to do that. So we're going to assemble our little box now, and this is where I'm going to make a pig's ear of it. We're going to cut away 2 of the little squares from one of the ends to assemble our little box. I do need to get some better small scissors or medium-sized scissors. Right, okay, so we're just going to fold all these ends in and assemble our box nicely, like so. We'll have those bits sticking in. So you can see the kind of thing that we're doing. We're just getting all our tabs inside. Like so. I think I'm going to do that like that. Fold that over, and you can see the kind of idea. So I'm just going to glue that off camera and show you the next stage. So there we go, there is our little box complete, and I've also just stuck a little decorative strip around the edge. It is 1/2 inch by about 11, something like that. And what we're going to do now, so I've decided that this is going to be the back, so that's going to go there. So we're going to put some collal on the bottom of this. Putting your box together is okay. You might want to wedge a couple of the sides. You might get a neater finish than I have done. I'm just putting plenty of collal on there because we want this to stay stuck down. And just eyeball it, making sure that it is centered, and we can put our nail varnish in, and it fits in really snugly. So the sides fold in. We will just leave this to dry actually, because that would be a disaster if it moves too much. So we'll just pop that to one side, and while that is drying we can work on the lid. So for the lid, you will need a piece of card that is 6 7/8 of an inch square. Let's just move my little bits out the way. I don't know what it is, I always seem to just run out of space. And you're going to score at 1, 2, 4 7/8, and 5 7/8. Just making sure I've got that accurate. And rotate and repeat. 1 inch, 2 inches, 4 7/8, and 5 7/8. Fold and burnish all of those lines. You don't need to see me do that because you know how to do it. I'll be back when I've done that. So that is done, and what we are going to do on all 4 corners, we're going to cut up here these 2 outside little squares, and we're going to remove them. Now normally when I'm cutting I rotate, but I haven't on this occasion. So we've got that, turn 180 degrees and do the same. As best you can, cutting nice and straight. Okay, so we've got that kind of shape going on. Now we want to remove these squares here. But we're going to cut up the score line up to that second score line on both sides, but remove this square. Do the same on this side. It's gone all grey now. I think we've had the best of the day. I hope it is a blustery day actually, and I want to curl up with some knitting and a film this afternoon, maybe, if I've got all my jobs done. Ella's not here for dinner. She's going out for an early birthday treat with a friend. I think I've said in a previous video we're celebrating her birthday next Sunday, the 31st, with some family, and we're just having a quick little get together with her brother tomorrow. Yeah, so what you want to do now is wedge. So just take a little bit off there, little bit off there, little bit off there, and what we're making is a double thickness lid, because nail varnish can be quite heavy, or whatever you want to put inside, it might be heavy. And yeah, this box is a sturdy box with all the corners of the base bit folded in. It does give it quite a lot of structure. Yeah, so as I say, Ella's going out with a friend and staying out tonight, so it's just Mr. Paper&Twine and I for dinner. And I've got some prawns in the freezer. We're going to have a prawn and chilli linguine with a tomato based sauce. Just simple, it won't take long to do. And I'm trying to run the freezer down, ready to stock up for Christmas. That dreaded C word. I bought the kids' advent calendars yesterday. Yes. So, have I done everything? Yes, I have. Let's just get these little bits of rubbish out the way. Pop them in my rubbish bag there. And this is what you are left with. So, I am going to put tape on my corners and these outside edges. I don't use tape very often, but I think it is good for this box. So what we're going to do is fold in 2 sides and fold that down, and it will anchor those tabs. In fact, actually, I'm not going to use tape. I'm going to use wet glue because I can see I'm going to get in a mess. So, turn my box over. Wet glue. Wet glue. Wet glue. Just do one side at a time. So we're folding those in, making sure our corners meet and folding that down, pushing those corners in, and I'm just going to burnish with my bone folder. And it gives a really nice neat edge. So we will do the same to this side. So I'm going to put glue on these tabs here. Glue on this section. And we're just going to fold that in, and that down. And burnish. Oh, she says, dropping everything, and I've got my I've lost my scoring tool under my little thing. There we go. And then we're just going to glue those bits in and stick them down. But if you like using tape, some people are very practiced at it, I'm not. There we go. And there we go. Just burnish that down. So we've got a lovely double strength lid. And we'll bring in our box. So this bit should be dry now, hopefully. Let's put the lid on our glue. Bring in these side pieces, like so. And then our lid should fit on nice and snugly, and it does. Oh, look at that. So we just need to decorate now, and I've got another piece of pattern paper which is 2.5 inches square, and because it is the top, and yeah, because it's the top. No, I'm not. I was going to do a bit of sparkle Dewberry Firkin, but I'm not. No, we'll keep it simple. Keep it simple, Ashley. Less is more. Less is more. Let me know what you think. Would you have put another matten layer there with some silver sparkle paper? I'm just going to centre that and just give that a burnish. You could decorate the inside of your box lid if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. And then I've cut some pieces. Well, I've cut a strip that is 1/2 inch wide, and I think I'm going to cut these down to 2.5 and glue them on, rather than have a complete strip all the way around. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to cut this strip, which is 1/2 inch wide, into 4 2.5 inch pieces, and I'll do it so it's continuous. You could put ribbon around this if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. So there's my little box finished. I've just used a circle punch. I think mine is 1.5 inches, I'm not sure, in the purple card, and then I've stamped the little star in wilted violet and just heat embossed it with clear embossing powder, and I've just trapped a little bit of string that was left over from something underneath, just for a little bit of something. You can see the little strips that I've added to the sides of the box, and we take the lid off, and here is our exploding box. So let me know what you think. Obviously you could colour coordinate your patterned card and paper to match the nail varnish that you're giving, and this just fits in really snugly. That's really satisfying, actually. Mine's just a cheap Rimmel nail varnish, but that fits in perfectly. We've done a little bit of stamping, and yeah, I'm liking that. My mum likes nail varnish, so I might do her one for Christmas. and then our little lid fits snugly on, and there it is. Lovely little present for any female friends that you know. And if you didn't want to put nail varnish in, it will fit one of these bottles of essential oil. So I will be back tomorrow, which is Ella's birthday. Take care, everybody. Bye now.